So we have Android 17. Android 17 has a basic effect, just like all the other leaders, most of the other leaders. When it attacks, you draw one card. And then when you go to 4 life, you can flip the card over and you draw a card. The flip, if you have 6 or more energy, this card gets 1,000, 10,000 power on your turn. So on your turn, instead of being a 20k power, this thing is a 30k power. So on your turn, this dude is a huge beater. And when it attacks, it still draws. Pretty nice. We got Krillin. Krillin. His effect is you can't attack Android 18. Honestly, his card is not good. His card is not good. The main reason I run it is because of the 10k combo. If it was a 5k combo, I would not run this card. And even now, I'm only running 2 of it in the off chance I can use its ability. But I think that the idea of the ability makes sense. If it works with the double strike card, this card can be kind of good. If it doesn't work with the double strike card, I can replace it. Like I would put in another 17, and then I guess another healing Gohan or something. Yeah, another healing Gohan would be cool. To be honest, or even another of this Gohan, that would be fine too. Yeah, another healing Gohan would be good. I think maybe. No, I don't need 4 healing Gohan. It would be like another 17, and then another, I guess another 17, maybe. Whatever. Probably another Gohan. Anyway, Son Goku 1 drop. On play, draw 1 card. Simple. Not much to explain. It's a good card. Use it turn 1, draw. Use it turn whatever, draw 1. You don't attack with this card because it doesn't have enough power. You basically just summon it, and then it's a 5k combo. Standard, good card. Android 18, 2 drop. 20k power. On play, draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. So basically, you use this to cycle your hand, get rid of trash cards, set up your graveyard, and when you attack with this card and you have 6 energy, you draw 1 card. Once you have 6 energy, this card starts popping off. You start gaining a lot of cards. Very good card. Android 17, 3 drop, no effect, 2500 beater, 25,000 beater with 10k combo. The reason you run this is because that the stat line is good to fight other green decks, particularly Brawly. This thing can hit Brawly without needing to spend cards, spend resources. And it's a 10k combo, so even if you don't use it, you can use it to combo. Solid card. Worth running at 4. Running at 3 right now. Android 20. Activate main. KO this card. Look at the top 10 cards of your deck and place up to 1 Dr. Joe's lab in your battle area. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in a random order. This dude is here just to blow himself up so you could get your field spell. We'll talk about the field spell later. Android 17, 4 drop, 20k power. On play, you could add up one card from your life to your hand. Then play 1 Android 18 with a cost of 3 or less from your drop. So if you have the Android 18 that I showed earlier that can draw you cards, it can summon her from the graveyard. On top of that, this card can help you self awaken if you really wanted to. Green decks usually don't want to self awaken, but against other green decks, there's a chance that you may need to self awaken because they're just refusing to attack you. So the option to self awaken is nice. 5k combo, not amazing, but that's okay. The fact that you can summon this and get the other 18, so you have two 20k beaters on the field, is pretty nice. Vegeta, a 4 drop 20k with 10k combo. 10k combo is super nice. Effect on play: take a 3 cost card or more from your drop and add it to your energy. So this card is ramp. You run like 3 or 4 of this card. And then activate main. You could discard one card, choose one card, one battle card your opponent has that costs 2 or less, and KO it. So by discarding a card, you can kill one of their annoying cards. Maybe a blocker, maybe a 20k vanilla beater, maybe a critical card. This card can, its secondary effect is decent to kill annoying targets, especially ones that can swarm the field. But you may just play it for the ramp. After you ramp like once or twice with this card, you don't really need to summon it anymore. So it having 10k combo is super nice. If it was a 5k, I can see dudes running 2 or 3 of this card, probably 3. But because of the 10k, it's worth running 3 to 4. Also, its secondary effect is good because you can just throw away dead cards in your hand. Like once you use one Dr. Joe's lab, you don't need any more, so you can just toss them in the graveyard, set up your plays, even throw away Android 18 so you can combo with Android 17 eventually, or throw away the Son Gohan childhood. There's a lot of plays with the Vegeta. Vegeta is pretty good in this deck. Uh, Son Gohan childhood 5 drop, 30k power, 10k combo, pretty nice. On play, choose one of your opponent's battle cards for cost 4 or less and KO it. This card is very nice to have. Honestly, you don't need this card, but because of the 10k combo, you might as well run it. It's here like as an emergency card. Like if you're on turn 5 and you have nothing else to play, then just use it, F it. In this version of my deck, I actually need to summon this card more often, I think. I don't really have a lot of turn 5 plays. Like my turn 5 plays would be just like summon Vegeta, summon Android 17. I don't know. Like there's not a lot I do on turn 5. So having this as an option is nice. Maybe I should put like Turles in here or something, but that might work. Like if I don't need this Krillin, I might just take out Krillin and then like put Turles in here, like 2 Turles. Wouldn't be the worst. Not necessary though. Get Android 16. This dude's effect is he's a blocker, so he can block 1 attack from the opponent. And then when this dude dies, he summons the Gohan that costs 6 from your graveyard, from your drop. And there's only one Gohan that's 6 cost in the game. That card is on play. Add the top card of your deck to your life. So this card heals you. There's no other card in the game that heals you currently. This card is pretty strong. And the fact that you play this for 6. If you get to use its effect, that means your opponent did 1 less attack, possibly. So they did 1 less attack. They attack this gets summoned. So you get a 3,500 beater, well, a 35,000 beater, and you healed yourself 1. That's pretty strong. On top of that, this dude is a 10k combo. If this was a 5k combo, I'd run 2. But because they're a 10k combo, running 3 is kind of nice. Android 17, 18. This card is busted. I see people running this card at 2. I can see that. Run this card at 3. I see that. Run this card at 4. Bro, if you have the certain game plan to run this at 4, go for it. This card has 40,000 attack, 0 combo. So like the cards with 0 combo tend to be like really strong in this game. Like they're like really really powerful game ending cards. Except this one Ginyu card, for some reason has 0 combo, but whatever. This card has double strike, which means when it hits you, it actually hits you twice. So, say my opponent has 8 life. If I hit them, usually they'll go down to 7 life. But if I use this, they'll go from 8 life to 6 life. So this card is really good. And its second effect is, on play, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards that cost 3 or less and KO them. So when you have 2 cards that cost 3 or less, there usually be blockers. But there's also some vanilla beaters that people will use that are like 2 to 3 drops that are very dangerous against green decks. So this can also clear those up. And by clearing those up, you also have, the opponent will have less combo because they'll have less cards to use because they'll be destroyed. So one combo that you can do with this card, or any double striker really, is if your opponent it usually awakens at 4 life. Currently. Some in the future it might be different. Like they just reveal the card that awakens at 3 life. But here we have a card, like most cards awaken at 4 life. If my opponent is at 4 life, they can self-awaken. And when they do that, they'll gain 5 to 10k power. So what you want to do is you leave your opponent at 5 life. No, you get your opponent to 5 life. You don't leave them at 5 life because sometimes they could self-awaken. So you get them to 5 life, and then when you get to 5 life, you attack with this card, and then if your attack goes through, they'll go from 5 to 3. And why that's so good is because when they're at 5 life, they have 15,000 health. Which means to stop this from injuring them at that point in time, they would have to use a super combo and 1,000. Because then they would go to 4,500. But say they don't have a super combo, then they would have to use 3 10Ks. That's 3 cards. This one card can make them throw away 3 cards to stop it. Just by attacking. 2 to 3 cards. That's pretty strong. And then say I boost this up, its thing's attack by just 5,000. Then suddenly they had to use 3 to 4 cards. If I boost this thing by 10k, they have to spend even more cards to stop them from like going low. At that point, it probably isn't worth it, and you gain a huge advantage. Like making them spend 4 cards or more, like 3 to more or more cards, just to stop this from like putting them at such a huge disadvantage is crazy. And then when you end game, like as you guys saw in my video or the last battle, if you reach a certain threshold, you can win a lot easier because if you play the slow game, the grind game, you can make it to a point where this card can easily KO your opponent, especially if you have the right cards to boost this thing's attack up 1,000 or 25,000. You got Yamcha. Yamcha's just a super combo. You just run 4 super combos, gives you 20k power. I say 20k was yeah, 20k power. You don't have to use Yamcha. You could use King Vegeta. King Vegeta does literally the same thing, except it's King Vegeta and it's a Saiyan. It makes no difference at this point in time. I just put Yamcha in here because, this is when Yamcha got bodied by Dr. Gero, And it aesthetically fits the deck. All the cards in this deck aesthetically fit. The only card that doesn't fit aesthetically is like Brawly. Specifically this Brawly. You could technically say Brawly fits. Like this Brawly, remember when they did the movie, Future Trunks was there, right? I'm pretty sure Future Trunks was in the movie, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, Brawly was still in that timeline. Not this Brawly, but F it. We had to run this Brawly. It's too good. Son Gohan Childhood 7 drop 50k power 0 combo. On play, discard 1 card from your hand. Choose all your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 5 or less and KO them. Then this card can attack for the turn. This card is nice to have, but I'll be real with you, you do not need this card. This card is good to fight yellow decks. This card, even if you don't fight a yellow deck, it's a 50k beater. I can see running 1 to 2 of this card. I think 2 is kind of too much. But you could run 2. The thing is, a lot of people right now are playing green, and green doesn't play a lot of 5 cost cards and below. So in the green matchup, this card is not the best. Still, it's a 50k beater. And when you summon it, you don't have to use its effect. So if you summon it, you can just attack with it without using its effect. If you use its effect, you can't attack. And then we got Brawly. Brawly is cool. 8 cost, 45k combo. 45k power, 0 combo. Its effect on play, draw 1 card, then choose 1 card of your opponent's battle card and KO it. So this card draws you a card. It destroys any card your opponent has. This is the only card in the game currently that can kill any battle card your opponent uses. Everything else is like, oh, it has to be 5 or below, 4 or below, 3 or below, 2 or below, even 1 below. But this card can kill anything. And in the green mirror match, whoever summons the second Brawly is in a better spot. You summon Brawly, your opponent summons the second Brawly to kill their Brawly. They're going to summon their Brawly to kill the Brawly that you use to kill their Brawly. And then you're going to summon your Brawly to kill their Brawly that killed your Brawly that killed their Brawly. Alright? You usually want 3 to 4 of this Brawly. If you really want to win the mirror match, if you're really afraid of the mirror match with Brawly, you run 4 Brawly. If you're not afraid as much, or you don't think it's too much, run 3. But the way my deck is set up, I'd rather win with Android 17 and 18 Double Strike than with Brawly. So I only run 2. I think I only need 2 of this card in this version. I could be wrong. I mean the way that my deck is built, it's a lot more difficult to ramp than with the Saiyan package. So just having two of this is fine. I don't need to use this card, but it's nice to have. Like, does this the summon one? Oh, and its other effect is when it attacks once per turn, you switch it to active mode. So what that means is usually when you attack, you your card will go to rest mode, which means they can't do anything until your next turn, and then they wake up. Waking up is like called active mode. But this card can attack twice, which is interesting. Like I said earlier, there's 17, 18, and when that card attacks you, it does two attacks in a single blow. However, this card does something similar, but is also different. The card can attack you twice, but those two instances are individual instances. It's different. Like, if this card is good because it can clear your opponent's board, like nuke one card, maybe attack another one of their monsters, maybe attack another one of their monsters, maybe attack their face. You have a lot of options with this card. It's very good. It's very strong. Worth running 2 to 4. Usually 3. 3 to 4. And then we have this card, Gigantic Meteor. This card is broken. I can see this card getting hit in the future. Its effect is choose one of your leader or one of your battle cards. It gets 15k power for the battle. Then if you have 6 or more energy, that card gets 10k power for the battle. So this card makes your card go to 25k. If you pair this with the Android 1718 Double Strike card, that card goes from 4 to 65k. You put on another one, that's 65, 7, 8, 90k just by using 2 of these. I've fought a dude that's thrown 4 of these onto the single card. Like, bro, I took 14k, right? It's like 3, yeah, it's like 50, 10k, or 100k. Yeah, so 140,000. And then I think they comboed more. So you could go to 140,000 plus what your Android 17, 18. Your opponent is not beating that. They're straight up not beating that defensively. And then we have Dr. Dro's Lab. This is our ramp card. I'll be honest, I kind of don't like this card. But it's part of the package. You have to use this card. Its effect is it's a field spell. There's like a few field spells in the game. But this field spell says activate main, use a green energy, switch this card to rest mode. If your leader is Android 17, add up to 1 card with Android and special trait from your drop to your energy. So you need androids for this card to work. Once you tap this card, you start ramping a little bit. Little by little. You need this card to start doing stuff. It pretty much pays for itself. Like, the card's okay. It's not bad. I just kind of don't like it. But you need to play it. That's why you play the Android 20. You just use Android 20, blow them up, get your lab, start ramping, start doing stuff. It's just awkward because once you go to turn, like, you do this on turn 3, on turn 4, what you have to do is summon Vegeta. If you don't have Vegeta, it sucks. Turn 5, you keep ramping. Well, on turn 5, then you would be like on turn 6, I guess. So it helps you like skip like a whole turn of ramp. Well, increases your whole turn of ramp. And if you had Vegeta, then you'd be like on turn 7. So it's not a bad card. You would definitely want this on curve. I'm just thinking if I should put two Turles in here. If I put two Turles in here, I could just take out one Android 17 4 drop, and then I kind of want to do that. I mean, I would lose a 10k, but let's say I take out one Android 17, and then I could take out one Android 16. You don't need three of this, but it's definitely useful to get Android 18 back. You definitely don't need three of this, but it's nice as a 10k. I might put Turles in here. We'll see. I mean, the best option would be just to take out Krillin. Like, bro, I take out Krillin, then I could do what I want. But I kind of want to see if the cheeky play works. I could take out one Vegeta. No, I need four Vegeta for this deck in particular. But yeah, that's the deck profile. Check out the deck. Oh, also we're running 52 cards in our deck. A lot of decks, you run 50 cards. You want to run 50 cards. Mathematically, there's barely a difference between 50 cards, 51 cards, and 52 cards. There's like if you're running four copies of a card, there's like a 1.3 something chance of it you not seeing that card in your opening hand or something. All you want to see in your opening hand is either Android 23 drop or Dr. Joe's Lab. That's all you need to see in your starting hand. After that, the rest of your hand could be whatever it is. And there's a high probability of you opening those two cards. If you run 53 cards, I don't know, on my testing, it felt a lot worse. But 52 cards is the sweet spot. Where you have enough cards, you have enough flex spots to always open your ramp cards, your ramp combo. If you don't open your ramp, then mulligan and you'll probably get it. If you don't get it after a mulligan, that's very unlucky. Hopefully you got a Vegeta. If you didn't get any ramp at that point, wait 2 or 3 turns. If you didn't get your ramp in 3 turns, 3 to 4 turns, I'm pretty sure you lost. You just hard lose. I could be wrong. But yeah, that's it. That's how that works.